Hello there guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a lovely day, and yesterday, if you missed yesterday's match, we have our own pound of flesh over Palmeiras. We're able to dig them and get our win, and we are off to the semi-final of the Club World Cup. It was an amazing match in spite of the saga that started it, but at the end of the day, we were able to come up with a win. That is most important. And then I dropped a video concerning the post-match. Kindly check the link of this video to watch the analysis and everything that happened within the match. So today, uh, we're having some news concerning the transfer rumors, and then now for the Chelsea fan, Chelsea are making me to look like it is just a normal business, it's just a normal thing to do. Whereas Arsenal are finding it hard, Manchester United are finding it hard to get their men. Now Chelsea have been able to seal an important deal for our Borussia Dortmund winger. Let me go straight to the news from Ben Jacobs. Let me go to the news from Ben Jacobs. Jimmy Gittens says, I have a couple of text messages from Kopama telling me to come, and the same from Leandela. Both were eager for me to join. And then there has been news, and then the transfer of Jimmy Gittens has been done and dusted. Now it's now a full Chelsea player, and then I'll be posting the picture of the unveiling of Jimmy Gittens on the screen so you can see. So we now have Jimmy Gittens to play the left wing forward. What an amazing player he will be for Chelsea. What a very, very good player he will be, because now looking at the position, we have serious problem in that wing, and then a player like Gittens will be very, very good for us. Will be in order for the problems to get solved, because now who do we have playing there currently? Madueke has been deployed to play in that wing, and so far so good. That is not his natural position. Madueke doesn't play left wing. What he plays is right wing, but since Enzo Maresca has been putting him on the left wing, is now his main role. And then when you look at the way he performs whenever he plays, okay, look at the match he played yesterday. He puts a lot of effort, and at the end of the day, he could only manage one shot in the match, because now he's a left leg player, left foot player rather. Anytime he's cutting and coming into the box 18, he will not be able to use the same left, except if he wants to go and pick a cross to the attacker, to cross the ball to the attacker to the inside the penalty box. If that is not the case, anything that makes him moves as his player to take on his player and he cut towards the right, that means he's going to be supporting him, supporting the shot with his left foot. And then we all know how bad he is with the right foot, so he cannot be good always playing that wing. He's a left-footed player, and he doesn't know how to use his right foot. Now Neto used to play there, Sancho used to play there, but now since Sancho is no longer in the team, only Madueke consistently now plays there, but the output has been very low. So now with Jimmy Bynoe-Gittens, I feel like we just got ourselves a very, very left winger, that can seriously do the damage that wing is supposed to be, giving us in that every match. So that is it about Jimmy Bynoe-Gittens. And then Kopama turned himself to an agent, and some Liam Delap. I think the two of them actually played academy with Manchester City before Gittens went to Borussia Dortmund. So I feel like, okay, this is a good addition for Chelsea, coupled with the performance that Joao Pedro gave us yesterday. What a player Joao Pedro will be for Chelsea. I just pity for Jackson, because now with the performance that Delap is giving us, on average level, and the quality of Joao Pedro, is just not going to be getting minutes. He's just not going to be getting minutes. I don't know, the love of Maresca for him was great. So I know that he will definitely find a way to come up, put him in matches. But of course, It's not to deny the quality that João Pedro has. He's far, 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 far ahead of Jackson. Far, far ahead of Jackson. Look at his technical abilities. Look at his ball works. Look at his passes. Look at his take-homes. So this is a very, very fine player that Chelsea have gotten themselves. And then let's just enjoy. Let's just enjoy, because now we are cooking. We are cooking. And when our food is done, our enemies will not be able to sit on that table because it will be too hot. You know, it's just like the prayer Bible verse that said, "Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemy." The table is hot, and Chelsea prepared the table. You understand? Enemy self not fit sit down for that table. So that's what it is. Let me go straight to Noni Madueke, because we've been hearing some news, some rumors. You know, I made a video and I said I'm not sure that Arsenal will get him, because this Arsenal currently romances their player, their target, and at the end of the day, they talk, and they leave. They ended up signing Zubimendi for 4 straight months. You understand? More like they are signing him every month. And they talk about every player in this world and never getting them. But while it turns out not to be true with Noni Madueke, at least so far so good, they have been able to, according to Fabrizio Romano, he said more on Noni Madueke and Arsenal story reported earlier today. The agreement on personal terms is ready and done, with parties advancing on details this morning. Madueke said yes to Mikel Arteta's project. Club talks will start in the coming days. Now, what impresses Madueke with the news of him joining Arsenal? Me, I don't know. Does he have a dream of playing for Arsenal? So that's his own problem. But there was also a comment by Enzo Maresca where he was asked what he feels about certain situation. Because I think that person purposely asked him that question in regard to the move of Madueke to Arsenal. And he said he was instrumental for Chelsea. Of course, we all know, even if he has struggles, at least he was instrumental within the season. And he said he will not be, any player whose mind is not with the squad, we need to go. And then he will need to work. He will only like to work with people whose heart stays with the team. And as it stands, it looks like Madueke's mind is no longer with Chelsea. He's no longer with Chelsea. I don't know. He is currently playing, but of course, with the coming of Bynoe-Gittens now, it puts up a lot of challenge. And then for the fact that that is not even his wing, it's a problem. So now, over the season, I see Madueke as a good player. You understand? But now, what I observe in his match is that his development actually stalled. He takes on his player, he doesn't cross well, and eventually when he crosses, he over shoot his crosses. And at the end of the day, most of the time, he doesn't shoot at the goal well enough. These are my observations. He doesn't shoot aim, to score. The problem, more of the challenges that Jackson has is that everything depends on him up front. Everything depends on him up front. Hardly we almost started kneeling down to beg Jadon Sancho before he's taking 1 or 2 shots in like 3 matches. They don't shoot, they don't aim at goal. Wingers that I know come into the match, decides that I'm getting a goal in this match. In fact, they almost become selfish because their own aim is to always shoot at the goal, find an opportunity, take on their man, aim at the goal. You understand? But these Chelsea wingers don't do that. Look at Madueke. Madueke will dribble, run, turn. At the end of the day, his output is low, is poor. What strikers will wait and not get a cross. Strikers will wait and not get a cross. Just like what Gusto usually do. Anytime he comes to the front, instead of him to just take that cross, that set pitch cross, to the boss 18, he finds it difficult. He cannot. He doesn't have a very good pull out. The same thing for Madueke. Even if you start him, sometimes you will ended up shouting till the match finish. Hardly will he have more than 1 shot on goal. Hardly. He's a very good player, but I feel like he's not consistent enough. And he has been giving more of those matches, but he's not showing more of consistency in hitting this mark, hitting the target. You understand? So like I feel like Jimmy Bynoe-Gittens will give us a very good, option, and then good performance beyond what we are currently seeing from Madueke. That is my own. So am I missing him? Probably not. Now, I will not probably miss him more if Jimmy Bynoe-Gittens is now, poorer than Madueke, which I don't see. I don't see. So that's my own on Madueke's case. If you decide that he's going to join Arsenal, of course, this personal agreement has been done. He has agreed the deal with Arsenal. So it's now club to club. Now, will Chelsea release him less than 40 million? No. Chelsea will not be going less than 40 million because there are players in the market who are even going, who are not up to Madueke, who are going as much as that 50 million. You understand? I believe that the transfer of Jimmy Bynoe-Gittens was not up to 50 million. With add-ons, let's say 51, 52, with add-ons. You understand? And only God knows the condition of the add-on. So I feel like it's a very good one. And then okay, let me just read this from Fabrizio Romano still on Madueke. So Madueke said yes to Arsenal as reported today. I understand Arsenal have now started advancing on personal terms discussion with Noni. Madueke hasn't asked to leave Chelsea at this stage. Focus on Club World Cup. Meanwhile, he's understood to be open to Arsenal's move. Nothing agreed close between clubs yet. But of course, with the news I read now initially, the personal agreement has been reached and is now remaining for club to club. Now, talking about additional quality player to the team when somebody like Madueke is going, because in fact I don't see Bynoe-Gittens as a replacement of Madueke because naturally they don't play the same wing. They don't play the same. Only Maresca make it look so. So now when we are talking about really getting somebody who is a major replacement, a quality replacement, then here is the news. West Ham are confident Chelsea will submit a better offer than Spurs for Mohammed Kudus. That's submit a better offer, than Spurs for Mohammed Kudus. West Ham would also prefer he goes to Chelsea over Spurs. Wow. So now Mohammed Kudus might be London bound to the blue. Proper Chelsea coming. So now we are expecting Mohammed Kudus saga any moment, and I don't see this taking long. I feel like if Madueke is going, it automatically opens the door for Mohammed Kudus to come to Chelsea. That is it. And then I don't think I need to start explaining who Mohammed Kudus is. Even in an average West Ham team, he's like a king in an average West Ham team. He's a solid player. In fact, for the fact that the coach can be asked this question and he answered in this manner, you will understand the relationship that Enzo Maresca can build with Mohammed Kudus. Enzo Maresca on Mohammed Kudus, according to the news, he said Enzo Maresca on Mohammed Kudus and Chelsea. He is a West Ham player, says Maresca. I can't say any other thing. I can't say nothing. The only thing I can say is I know Kudus since Ajax. Now, this is looking like more of a reunion show in Chelsea. More of a reunion show because now most of the players that have come to Chelsea currently came through the Manchester City Academy. Now, let's forget about Brighton because Chelsea spent £260 million to get players since the takeover of Todd Boehly from Brighton. So now let's assume that with the purchase of João Pedro, we are done with Brighton. We are done. You understand? Apart from Robert Sanchez, that is currently misbehaving. Currently, I don't know what is happening to him, but he's still the only one we've got. Apart from only him, almost every player that we have bought from Brighton are becoming a very good buy. A very good buy. Now, but Manchester City also have many players that Chelsea are buying. You understand? So now Mohammed Kudus is not, at least he's not a Manchester City, former Manchester City player, but there seems to be a relationship. There seems to be, mutual respect between him and Maresca, and then Maresca knows him very, very well. So this is a good sign that he will like to play under Enzo Maresca. That is my thought. And Kudus always has been. In fact, we are supposed to get Kudus before now, And I feel like he's open to coming to Chelsea other than Spurs. As a club, West Ham doesn't want to sell Kudus to Tottenham. They prefer to sell to Chelsea. West Ham have a relationship with Chelsea. So how do you see this going? You know, how do you see this stuff materializing, the transfer materializing? I feel like this is going to happen. Let me have your reaction in the comment section. What do you think about this current latest transfers based on what I'm talking about currently? And then also a shocking news. Arsenal's wonder kid, the Nigerian, is not a Nigerian international. Like I think he's a Nigerian player, going by the name. It's an Igbo by tribe, but I don't think he's born in Nigeria, so he can claim UK, whatsoever the case may be. News from Fabrizio Romano says Chelsea have been showing interest in Inter Nwaneri situation, only in case new deal won't be sealed with Arsenal. Nwaneri and Arsenal in talk over new deal, while player wants game time guaranteed. Separate deal from Madueke, who agrees personal terms with Arsenal. So apparently the player is having some issues with Arsenal concerning his playing time. You understand? So he's yet to sign his deal. He wants guarantee that he should be playing more. I'm not seeing how this is going to happen with the purchase of Madueke. Madueke cannot be on the bench while he plays. So I feel like Chelsea are monitoring the situation, and he might be Chelsea bound also. Now, Ethan Nwaneri plays, I think, most of his matches with Arsenal last season. And then with some of those matches he played comes some very brilliant performance. Do we honestly need Nwaneri? I will say no. But will he be a good thing for us to get him if he will be a team player? Yes, I will support it. And then that's not to mention, we don't exactly know how much it's going to cost for Chelsea to get him. But is he a good player? Does he have the prospect? Since we are now, a team that goes for younger players who has promise. Yes, he fits the book. You understand? He fits that profile. And then I don't know, but I feel like he's a good player who we can watch. And then maybe over time start performing and everything. Maybe they probably will sell him or after, or maybe they leave him to play, within the team. So that is it with the news. Now, PSG has won Bayern Munich. Unfortunately, there was a serious injury. I think the foot of Musiala was it, should I say broken or torn? His ankle, actually, his ankle, twisted ankle. He ended up leaving the match with a twisted ankle, and I wish him well. I wish him best of luck, and I wish him quick recovery, speedy recovery. But it looked bad. It looks very, very bad, and he could easily be out of the season, if not more. But I wish him a quick recovery. Now, in my previous video, when I was analyzing Chelsea's pathway to the Club World Cup, I made mention of what will happen by the right side of the table. If you watch the video, I'll post the link on under this video. I'll post the link so that you can watch it. I said the game between PSG and Bayern Munich, I see it as a tough match. It's hard to predict, but I see PSG edging Bayern Munich. Now, watching the match, I noticed that Bayern plays more than PSG. You understand? It was unfortunate for them to lose. They had some goals cancelled also. But I already saw that there will be a chance for PSG, which they will bury. And then Bayern will have tons of chances. And exactly that was what happened. PSG has defeated Bayern Munich. And they are now in the semi-final, expecting to play either Borussia Dortmund or Real Madrid. Now, in fact, as I'm speaking, Real Madrid is currently having his pound of flesh over Borussia Dortmund. So it's also a good fixture. Now it's now going to officially be a match between Real Madrid and PSG at the other side of the table, while Chelsea and Fluminense battles it out. So this is the end of the video, and Diogo Jota has obviously been buried with a lot of crying and everything, and then Liverpool as a club has done well by fulfilling the contract they have with the player by paying the family those weekly wages. It's due with some educational backing and some players promising and everything. I see it as a very good gesture and from Liverpool as a club, and I wish them well, and I wish the family also well. So this will be the end of the video. Let me have your reaction in the comment section concerning these transfers and the coming of Bynoe-Gittens, Madueke leaving Chelsea. What do you think about it? And then Kudus. What do you think about Mohammed Kudus? Do you think Chelsea will be going all out for him according to the news we are getting, which looks promising? Let me have your reaction in the comment section. Do like, subscribe, and then switch on your notification bell. Have a very lovely time.